Thanks to the support as a channel member, Michael Beagles. Boys and girls, sexy shirt week is really starting to hot up, and so is our season. By the end of this episode, we have a chance to actually be in an automatic promotion spot for the first time, I think, all season. Hello and welcome to part 107 of Bourne in the USA. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have two games for you in the league, two big away games. We're away against the New York City Academy. That's a team who are down in the relegation zone. We should beat them, but the real big one is the second game in today's episode. We're away against Louisville, the team directly above us in the league, the team currently occupying the second automatic promotion spot. If we beat them, we could well be moving above them. If not in today's episode, then in the near future. 12 games of the season left. We are in fantastic form, looking at the form we're in. We haven't lost a league game since Greenville, way back in December. We've actually beaten DC United Academy away from home 4-1 in this little run of games. The team that looked unbeatable, we've now beaten them. It looks like they've lost to someone else as well. I don't want to look at the... Oh, they are the under-23 squad. Okay. Well, regardless, we thumped them, and then they lost to St. Louis the next week as well because they were so hurt by us thumping them, and now they're actually in the process of having a little bit of a wobble of their own. But Louisville are the team that we've got in our sights today. Should we see what kind of form they're in? They're also wobbling. I mean, not really. They got to the fifth round of the US Open Cup and lost to LA Galaxy. They've not lost in the league since before we did. Charleston back in mid-December. So that's going to be a tough one. We can't take our eyes off the fact that we've got New York City Academy first, one of three New York teams in the relegation zone. It's not been a good year for New York, has it? And we have done some transfer business as well, although I don't want to make this a thing. I think I have keved it a little bit, and I don't mean that in a positive way, believe it or not. I thought I had the missing piece of the puzzle, the final hero that we needed. Mauro Martinez is 30 years old. He's a 4-star current ability striker who has bundles and bundles of championship experience. He's played in the Premier League. He is a player. He's never really dropped down to this kind of level. He's had the odd loan out at the LA Academy when he was playing for Los Angeles in the Premier League. And he was out on loan at their academy side in League Two. But since then, he's moved on to New Mexico. Cincinnati, who paid over £1 million for him just a few years ago, was on loan at Oklahoma last year. Loads of championship experience. We brought him on a free transfer until the end of next season. We've paid a lot of money to him. And somehow, and I still don't know how I've done this, the transfer went through just after the window closed. I didn't notice the window had closed. We can't register him for the squad until the summer. So that was money well spent. We put ourselves over our wage budget to bring him in because he was such a key signing. And, can't register him until the summer. By which point we might be a championship side and not need him anymore. So that was a good piece of business. But let's not dwell on that. Let's focus on trying to beat the New York Academy. And this is the team that we're going to send there to try and do that. Why are they used to the wrong way around? Past Kev, what are you up to? We're going with Garcia in goal, a back four of Ramirez, Baron, Mitchell and Glover, McGlynn and Gentry in midfield, Rodriguez and Robinson out wide, Ismailov and Wright up front. Let's jump into this. I think my brain is starting to confuse Wright and Davies because they've both got boring English-sounding names, so they become similar in my head. And I mean, it's not a good excuse, but that's why I think I had Wright playing as the support striker there, even though he's our goal-a-game superstar striker man who absolutely should be playing in the most advanced role we can play him in at every opportunity. Come on, boys. We should have a goal by now. It's sexy shirt week, don't you know? This is a weird corner. And it very nearly came off. That was a little bit alarming as a way to start the game. We'll have less of that, please and thank you. How are Louisville getting on? We'd like Louisville to lose today, so they're distraught by the time they play us. And also, they're for the picking. And they're away against Salt Lake City Academy. I think are the other team in the relegation zone. They are. Salt Lake City are rock bottom, New York Academy just above them. So we're both getting relatively nice warm-up games for the main event of today's episode against teams that we should definitely be beating. The only problem is, as we approach half-time, we're not yet winning our one. Glover with a weird little chipped cross that didn't get anywhere near a Bourne player, and now New York have got a counter-attack on. Mitchell tries to get the tackle in but can't. New York's attack continues, and we've given away a penalty. Just as Louisville score in their game, they've gone 1-0 up over Salt Lake City away from home. Just as that's happening, we could be going behind against relegation-bound New York Academy. This is not how today's episode was supposed to go. I've put on the sexiest of the sexy shirts for this, and it feels like I've put it on for nothing. I might have to go shirtless for the second half of the episode. There you go, universe. I'm putting that out there as a threat. You don't want Kev's nipples in the YouTube videos. I don't think YouTube will allow that kind of thing. Nipples equal bad. Right. How are we losing? Go attack him. Demand more. It's them on the attack again. We are a strange team sometimes. We've been playing so well for so long, and we just don't look like much of a threat today. Garcia does well to come out and collect from the big ball forward and now launches it upwards towards Robinson, who has the big flick on, but neither Ismailov or Wright seem that bothered about getting on the end of it, and it ends up back with Robinson on the right-hand side again, who this time decides to keep it on the floor, plays it into Rodriguez, and his shot is well wide. It wasn't even close. I'm getting sad. I feel the sadness setting in. Baron, very clever little free kick, plays Wright in. Wright is in and scores, and that's 27 for the season for Tristan Wright from an impossible angle as well. The free kick from Baron looked weird until you realised who he was playing it for, and then you just knew that Wright would have something to come up with on here. Let's not play it into the area. Let's not look for headers. Let's play it to feet, play it over the top, get Wright in, and there is your equaliser. Louisville still 1-0 up in their game. We've got 27 minutes to try and grab a winner in ours so that we don't end up going to their place with the gap between us and them being even bigger than it was at the start of the episode. As I keep saying, that's not the plan. We're supposed to be catching them, not letting them get further and further away from us at this stage of the season. Ismailov now. I mean, that was poor. He kind of just stopped. I'm all for a hold-up play every now and again, but he didn't need to hold the ball up there. Now McGlynn gives it away. This is some of our senior players, some of our higher star rating players, some of our more experienced players seem to be bottling things a little bit today. What have we got down on the bench? We've got McJanet, we've got Lindley, we've got Takada. Wright is in again, and you'd put your house on him scoring there. I'm not really sure how that's gone wrong. Right, 20-ish minutes to go. We're going to make some changes. We are going to take off. See, apparently he's had a good game. We'll take off Gentry and bring on Lindley, just to try and get some more creativity from the midfield. I want to get McJanet on. I think McJanet on for Robinson is what we're going to do. Just he's got a little bit more pace about him. I know Robinson has scored some spectacular goals over the years, but he is just recovering from an injury, as he always seems to be. I think that might be why he's playing at our level rather than the higher level his ability suggests he should be playing at. He spends so much of each season injured. Oh, they're in again here, and Garcia makes the save. I mean, Garcia has kept us in games on a number of occasions this season, and fingers crossed he's doing it again here. Our substitutions go through whilst we're defending a corner, which is disastrous. But it looks like we have got away from it, or away with it even. But it's New York on the attack again, this time with a throw, but Ramirez is there to intercept. And now, have we got a counter-attack on? He plays it forward to McGlynn. I don't know why Rodriguez didn't just start running there, but instead he's played it forward to Wright, who has absolutely nobody supporting him. And it's a similar tight angle to what he scored from, and I don't think he was going to do it twice in one match. Wright goes across to take the corner, though. We've loaded that front post with the big boys. McJanet is one of those who charges in, but he can't keep his header down. I can't help but think it might have been a little bit different if Baron had been the man getting on the end of it with all his 6'5" of oomph. New York with a free kick again. They are getting a lot of chances. If we give Louisville the amount of chances New York have had today, we're losing in the next match. New York have an XG of over 2. But there is Samuel McJanet. I've talked about him all year as a man who's a threat coming off that bench. It's only his 4th goal of the season. In my head, he's scored far more often than that. But there he is, getting on the end of the free kick to make it 2-1 in the 80th minute. Couldn't come a moment too soon. And now we will make a final substitution, I think, just really in the interest of wasting a little bit of time. Baron is going to come off. We're not going to bring Claudivanio on for him. We're going to bring De La Fuente on for him. I don't know why we would bring... I mean, I know Claudivanio was originally signed as a defender. We've used him as a midfielder for years, though. I'm not going to start putting him in central defence in League One now. I don't think he's ever played there at this level. But New York are continuing to attack and will feel a little bit hard done by to be behind in this game. They led it for a long time. They've had an excellent XG. Garcia has just made another phenomenal save to keep us in the match. And New York are not having a very nice time of it because I think they probably do deserve to get something out of this game today. But we don't care what they deserve. We're all about trying to secure our own promotion. And this gets us one step closer to being able to do that. Big, deep cross from McJanet. Can't find, I think it's Ismailov he's looking for there. And ball over the top right is in. He's got men square of him. He tries to shoot from the awkward angle again. This time hits the inside of the post, but it doesn't bobble into the area. There's no one in to tuck away the rebound. It remains 2-1. 4 minutes of additional time in this game. Can we not mess up from here, boys? I haven't checked in on Louisville at all in this second half, but Ismailov heads on to Wright, and Wright is now in again. Can he apply the finish? He can't. It's straight at the goalkeeper. And what's going on in the Louisville game? Someone tell me. Someone find out for me. Lindley heads clear now. This has got to be the last attack of the game for New York. We are hanging on, and they are just aimlessly shooting from range now, which we're comfortable for them to be doing that. I don't think that's going to lead to them grabbing an equaliser, and they haven't. And we have picked up quite a hard-fought 2-1 away win there that does set us up nicely going into this Louisville game. And I can only hope that they dropped some points in their match so we do have the opportunity to go there and go above them in the league, because that would be beautiful. Where are we? They didn't. They won 4-0. Of course they did. Well, it's still a 4-point gap then. So we can't go into the promotion spots today. What we can do, if we beat Louisville now, is bring that down to a 1-point gap and put a real dent in their confidence and break what has been a very, very long unbeaten run for them now. So that has to be the task. So a couple of changes for the Louisville game then. Baron has had to go on a little holiday. He's got tired little legs. He's gone away. In fact, he's not on a holiday. We're just resting him. But either way, he had tired little legs after the last game. So Gutierrez comes in for him. Glover moving over to play at centre-back alongside Mitchell. Also bringing Davies in for Ismailov up front just because he's a different kind of striker, offers something a little bit different. We know Davies has got that special little bit of something in him. The dribbling ability that he's got, the fact that he can just create something from nothing. Less consistent on a game-to-game basis than Ismailov, but I think in a big game like this one, where a key moment of genius might be crucial, I think this is a game for Davies just to see if he can conjure up that key moment of genius that could be crucial. But it is Louisville who are starting things off with the first attack of the game, and Gutierrez needs to get a little bit close to his man and deal with that, and he hasn't. It's left space for Louisville to pick out a shot, and they've got the early goal. Less than 6 minutes gone. It's already Louisville 1, Bourne 0. I'm a little bit disappointed to be losing against a team that apparently can't come close to filling their ground. Now, I assume they've got a bigger ground than we have, and that's probably why. But we fill the New Nook week in, week out now. So we're used to playing in front of capacity crowds, not this pathetically empty ground here in Louisville. I think if it does end like this, looking at that, I mean, a 7-point gap with 10 games to go, I think this pretty much does consign us to the playoffs if we can't pick up the victory today. Even a draw. I mean, a draw isn't ideal, but it's obviously not making it 7 points. It's leaving it at 4. But a 7-point gap with 10 games to go when you've already lost against the team you're chasing does seem like the kind of thing that you're unlikely to come back from. But the game is still young. Only 16 minutes gone. I'm wearing an incredible shirt, and hopefully the power of the shirt will power us through. I mean, ideally, I'd like that as a shout. Just shout, look at my shirt. Look what I've done for you people. We're demanding more. It's basically the same. We've created nothing going forward so far. Gutierrez is in danger of getting himself sent off if he carries on kicking around like a madman, like he's just done there, already on a yellow card. But here is Davies coming deep. This is where we need that moment of magic we were looking for. No magic on for him at the moment, but McGlynn plays the ball over the top to Wright, who is in space. We needed a finish from Wright there, really. They've not even They've not even managed to win a corner. Louisville keeping it in, and Wright was the only man forward, so there was no one there once again to put pressure on the defenders. We saw a little bit of that in the last game. Wright getting a little bit isolated because Ismailov was coming so deep, and we caught it again there because Davies had also dropped very deep to try and get something going from a little bit further back. We've gone attacking. I'm going to encourage rather than demanding more. We'll do 10 minutes of encouragement and see if that maybe a slight attitude change encourages them to go and grab a goal. Ball forward to absolutely nobody, and now it's Louisville again. 51 minutes gone as they try to build up another attack. A second goal here, I think, probably kills us off, and it's Gutierrez who's been found out a little bit again. It's pretty clear that he's not our regular starting right back. I mean, Baron needed a rest, but maybe he should have had the rest in the previous game and not in this big game against Louisville. He's the captain, and I feel like you lot are going to slaughter me for that. But here's Davies. He's got only 2 men to beat, and we know he can beat 2 men in his sleep. And Robinson is in the middle in all the space in the world. Robinson! Oh, he had to score there. He looked like he just kind of toe poked it into that post. It was easier to score than not. And somehow he messed it up. That is a little bit disappointing. And now it's a corner for Louisville. The header goes over. 25 minutes left. Forget encouragement. We're demanding more again now because we've got to do better than what we just did. Our entire attack looked like they've not really turned up today. I'm looking at Ismailov thinking he's coming on for someone. I just don't know who he's coming on for. I'm tempted to bring him on the left wing for Rodriguez because I still kind of want that magic from Davies. I don't want to take Wright off. We are going to get Lindley on in the midfield, though. Once again, he can come on for Gentry, move McGlynn over. And Gutierrez has played poorly and he's shattered, so Ruiz can come on for him. And fingers crossed, that little combination of changes is going to be enough for us to find a route back into the game. But it is, once again, Louisville are on the attack. I mean, there's only one team that deserves the 3 points from today. And Lindley's come on and given away a penalty. He's been on the pitch about 30 seconds. And I feel like we have playoffs again in our future, boys and girls. It's Louisville from the penalty spot. And it is 2-0 with 20 minutes remaining. It's going to be one of the great moments in the history of the channel if we find a way to pull 3 points out of this game now. I don't think it's very likely. Spoilers, I think we're probably done for today, but you never know. They might muster something up, but it's not looking very likely because now with 10 minutes to go, it's Louisville with the corner again, and they're once again in with the goal opportunity. We've only had one shot on target in the entire match. We have been poor. Tristan Wright, I've not seen him today. I hope he's not one of these who's afraid of big games because that is not ideal for your best striker to be afraid of playing in big games. But they are just running past us as if we're not there now. Oh, dear. Maybe we're not ready for the championship. I guess we'll find out in the playoffs, which we're now almost certainly going to be a part. And what was the point in going away and beating DC United so comfortably if we're then going to come to Louisville and get absolutely thumped? I mean, it's a lovely goal there. They're good value for it. They deserve a big win. We've had one shot on target. They've had 11. They've had 23 shots. Their XG is over 3. We just didn't look to their standard today at all. And what we will do is we'll just check in on the championship on the off chance that DC United, a big club, are bottling it at that level and maybe third place will become an automatic promotion spot in our league. See if we've got anything left to play for. So in the championship, DC United are 12 points clear of third place. I think they're going back to the Premier League, which means DC United Academy can pick up a promotion too. And we've now got 10 games to try and catch Louisville, or it's going to be the playoffs again. Not only the playoffs again, but at the moment we'd be due to play Charlotte in the first round of those playoffs as well, which, I mean, stuff like that has never ended badly for us. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.